just want to fast forward to the part of my life when everything's okay.
If you knew the end was coming, how would you make the most of your time left?
Now, I see you was the one playing chess, moving bishops and shit. I'm all like, I don't know what bishops do. It's a difficult game.
See, I'm a star. Look at me from afar. Haunting me down to earth when you nesting on Mars.
How would you want to be remembered?
Don't act like I'm average. You want me home.
What's going on, fam? It's your man, VACAY-J, and today we're going to go through Insecure. This is the final season, season 5, episode 1 recap. So if you're new, definitely go ahead and subscribe. Definitely like, comment, put your theories below and your thoughts below. We're going to go through the first episode and recap this for Insecure on HBO. This is the final season, y'all, so let's definitely get into it. So your girl Issa is back. She definitely is getting off the plane. She's obviously going somewhere very, very important. And, you know, she's looking good, feeling good, doing her thing, looking for her car. You know, it was a funny part because she jumped in the car like it was her car, but it was the wrong car, right? You know Issa Rae, right? So we see the Golden Gate Bridge. She obviously is in Cali, and she's going to the Stanford University alumni, right? 10-year anniversary. So she catches up with the squad. You know the crew is back. You know the crew is back. Of course, you got your girl Molly. Molly's back. She's wearing the same sweatshirt as her. You know, they twinning. Then you got Tiffany and her husband. And, of course, Kelly is back as well. You know, they're just catching up, you know, talking about their sweatshirts and everything else like that. You know, it's all good. Even though it's kind of still a little tense between her and Molly, they still haven't ironed things out. Kelly, of course, you know, she got some jokes. Tiffany, she's just chilling with her husband. And they're just talking about how they're going to have a good time. They look at the book, the 10-year anniversary book, to find out that Kelly is dead. It's in memory of Kelly. So somebody mixed something up. Kelly is definitely not dead. So they go to the party and, you know, they're having a good time and they see a familiar face. They see a girl that used to be with them back in the day. Yes, their girl Cheyenne, and Cheyenne, she's definitely a familiar face. We saw her on the Oval as well. So, you know, they're having a good time, reminiscing and everything else like that. So your girl Molly, she's talking, and she's talking with one of her old friends. And, you know, he's trying to catch up with her and say, hey, this was back in college, but we could definitely, you know, make something happen now. I want to get to know you. So there you go, your girl Kelly and Tiffany, and they look on the screen in memory of, and they said she could always make me laugh, and she had the best stanky legs. She always carried a purse. So what do? The DJ throws on some music and says, this is in dedication to Kelly, and they start doing the stanky leg in memory of Kelly. Even though she's right there, she just starts to dance with Tiffany and Cheyenne, right? Crazy, crazy. So it's the next day, and we see your girl Issa. She's looking in the mirror, looking at herself, her old self when she was in college, and she's like, hey, what's going on? You know, how are things going? You know, did we get with T-Pain? Did we become a lawyer? And she's like, nah, we didn't do any of that, you know. But, you know, she's definitely talking to herself like she always does. But she's like, you know, what's going on? Do you even have a man now? And she's like, nah, I don't even have a man now. It's complicated. She's like, okay. And then she makes a joke like, hey, invent the app that takes pictures and call it the Instagram, right? So now she's on the panel and, you know, she's feeling good about herself, right? And they're asking, you know, all the entrepreneurs, you know, what are they doing with themselves and everything else like that. And she starts to talk, you know, one guy, he made a joke and sang a song, and Biggie song, and everybody did it. And she tried to do another song as well, and nobody was really feeling what she was saying. You know, her friends are there to support her. You know, they're always going to be there to support her. But of course, you know, her awkwardness and her really trying to figure out what she's really doing in life is making things a little awkward. So she went up there to be a panelist to talk about business, you know, to feel good about herself and feel good about her business. But she just realized that it made her feel worse. It made her realize that, you know, she absolutely has more to work on when it comes down to her life and her business. And she's feeling pretty insecure about it, right? Thus the name, insecure. She's feeling insecure about where her life is. But her friends, of course, Molly's there. They're all supporting her, right? But she's thinking about, man, did I just mess up? Like, what's going on? I need to reassess my life, right? So they go outside, and of course, they're cheering her on. You did a great job. She's like, yeah, this is one of many. But she's like, you know what? I don't know about this, right? So she talks to Molly, and Molly's like, yo, let's hang out. She's like, all right, let's go get a drink. So they go and they catch up, and, Molly's ex is still trying to get with her. Issa's talking about she's not in control of her life and she wants to better her life. But, they sit down to get something to eat, and Molly's like, yo, I really just want to move forward. Issa's like, I want to do the same thing. I really want to move forward. So she's really reassessing everything in her life. That night, the girls, they're going out to party. They get with your girl, Cheyenne. She's the wild one. So she doing all this crazy stuff. They're dancing and talking and whatever the case is. But they decide to go ahead and they want to get a little tipsy, right? So it's time to go get a little liquor from the store, right? Get a little adult beverage from the store. So they go to the store only to get stuck up by a stick-up kid, right? He's there about to rob, Cheyenne, Issa, and Molly, right? So, of course, they're scared. They're looking at dude. Dude is like, give up the purses, right? He's like, oh, man, oh, my God, we getting robbed right in front of the store, So he got a gun. Obviously, he's not playing, and he's letting them know, give up the purses. And, Cheyenne, she was really over dramatic, just really screaming. He's like, yo, shut up. Just stop screaming. They're like, shh, be quiet. And then all of a sudden he says, come on, Cheyenne, stop screaming so loud. And she's like, dang, man. Like, why you say my name? It's like, man, come to find out Cheyenne set all this up and they are literally robbing Issa and Molly of their purses, of their jewelry. Cheyenne set them up to get robbed. She's like, what? They're in shock. Issa's like, what the heck is going on? So they're like, yeah, give it up. She's like, give up them shoes, Molly, give up them shoes. So Molly gives up her shoes. And, Issa, she starts to take off her shoes as well, right? But, Cheyenne's like, nah, we don't want those shoes. Those some ugly, ugly shoes. We don't want those shoes. So she runs off and she's like, ain't nothing changed. And she robbed them. She robbed them, literally robbed them. They're standing there in shock in front of the store. So they get back in the car. They're like, yo, what happened to the drinks? Where the drinks at? What happened to y'all? What's going on? Where's Cheyenne? What's happening? What is going on? And, Molly says, we got robbed. We got robbed. And they're sitting there looking at each other. And basically they start busting out laughing. They say they can't believe they just got robbed by one of their old friends from college. She took Molly's shoes. She didn't want to take my shoes. And they start laughing. They have a moment. All you could do is laugh at that point because there's nothing you could do. The person and you see who they are. And they was like, I knew I shouldn't have trusted her. And, of course, Tiffany's laughing and all of that. But they have a moment in time where they're trying to move forward, but they just got robbed together. Meanwhile, Kelly is still looking at her in memory of, but now they're having breakfast. And they're talking about how, Kelly was such a great person. She's just, was the love. She was a soulmate. She was a great individual. She'll never forget what she done for her in the whole nine. And they're just, just doing like a memoir to Kelly. But Kelly's sitting right there like, oh, I love you guys. It's like, really? And, of course, homeboy is just like, you know what? Y'all doing too much. Y'all really doing too much right now, right? So they go outside. And they're talking about, homeboy. And, Issa's like, yo, that dude, he wanted you. Why you pressing? You don't need to press him now. He wanted you. You need to just move on. We all need to move on. And that's what they're doing. They're thinking about moving forward. Issa, of course, is thinking about Terrence and everything that, they've been going through. So they're back home now. Kelly is doing her podcast. And she's asking the question, what would you do with your life if you would have died tomorrow? Would there be a legacy that you leave? What would you do exactly with your life? And of course, as she's talking, Issa is being picked up by Terrence. And, they embrace, they kiss. So, Kelly's just like, if you died tomorrow, what legacy, what would people remember about you? You know, would you leave a legacy? And they show Tiffany with the baby. And they show the baby with the Stanford shirt on. Absolutely. And of course, they show a husband. You know, they building a family together. So would you leave a family legacy? You know, would that be what people remember you by? Of course, Molly, she's looking in the mirror herself, and she's, again, assessing herself. And now we see Terrence driving Issa back home. And it's pretty awkward, right? Because if you remember from the last season, you know, Terrence found out that his ex-girlfriend is pregnant. So, you know, they're trying to talk, and he's trying to just bring up stuff and say, hey, you know, we should go get something to eat. And Issa's like, nah, the place is not open right now. And they're just trying to make conversation, but it's real awkward. They stop, and, you know, Issa's like, listen, I had a lot of time to think about everything. And, you know, he's just standing there, and he's just like, he's trying to say something, but he can't say anything. And nothing's coming out of his mouth, but he's like, I know, I understand. Pretty much that, you know, right now it's not a good time with everything going on with, you know, his ex-girlfriend being pregnant. He has to figure it out, and she has to figure out her life as well. So that is the end of episode 1. What did you think? What are your thoughts, ladies? This I'm doing this for my ladies out there who watch the show and anybody else that watches the show. Again, you know, I like Insecure as well. So, you know, anybody has any thoughts about what we just saw in the first episode, definitely drop those thoughts and those theories below. What's going to happen between Issa and Terrence? You know, is Molly going to finally move on, right? Kelly, she's okay, but she's definitely doing some things to expand. Of course, you got Tiffany and her husband. You know, they're pretty secure within their relationship, but will they have more problems as well? We don't know, but what is going to happen with Issa? You know, is she going to be able to move on? Is she still going to be hanging on to Terrence? You know, what's going to happen in the next episode? Definitely drop your thoughts below. I want to hear from you, those people who love Insecure. And absolutely, you know what it is. It's your man, VACAY-J. I'm out. Salute.